to TWT Talks with Tito. This is Tito Madrano back for another episode, back in your life. So today we're going to talk about AEW Grand Slam in Australia, and we're also going to talk about NXT Vengeance. So two major pay-per-views for pro wrestling over this weekend. Let's kick off with let's talk about AEW Grand Slam Australia. 5 matches. For the record, I did not see the match of Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Takeshita versus Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. I didn't see that match. I heard Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega won. I was 50-50 because I thought they were probably going to give it to Takeshita and Fletcher, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, Kenny and Will Ospreay won. Who would ever thought those two guys would be teaming up after the matches that they had over New Japan and AEW and the rivalry that they have. But hey, sometimes with the Don Callis family, them being former Don Callis clients, getting kicked out, it's no shocker that they were going to be a team. But what we do know is that Kenny Omega will be facing Kazuchika Takeshita at AEW Revolution in LA, and Kyle Fletcher will be facing Will Ospreay. So they're going to be facing each other at AEW Revolution. And yeah, I'm going to have to see that match though, because I do want to see how that match unfolds. All right, moving on to the next match. This was for the TBS Women's Champion, the champion Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron. This match was solid for a lot of... Look, Harley Cameron is not known for having a lot of experience in professional wrestling. I think she only has like a few years under her belt. But the fact that she put a good match with Mercedes Moné, arguably considered one of the greatest girls to ever do it, it was great to see. I mean, was I shocked that she was going to lose? No, I wasn't shocked. You know, she's Australian. It was smart for her to be in this card. You know, they got to go all out, you know, to bring all the Australian talent in this event. But, you know, Mercedes Moné, she continues to, like I said, she continues to have good matches with anybody, and Harley Cameron is a perfect example. And Harley Cameron, I think she shocked a lot of people. Not a lot of people thought she was going to put a good match with Mercedes. I think a lot of people were thinking that Mercedes was going to carry her the majority of this match, and that's beyond false. You know, Cameron really did show her skill sets in this match and shows that she can hang with the girls in AEW and hang with any professional wrestler. And people forget that she had matches with Scarlett Bordeaux. You guys know Scarlett Bordeaux, WWE with Karrion Kross. And yeah, so this girl is no stranger to pro wrestling, you know what I mean? So it's good to see her getting a big chance against Mercedes Moné for the TBS Women's title in Australia. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see more of her work, and see where she goes from there. And Mercedes, at this point, I don't even know what's next for her. I think Mercedes should probably be involved in the AEW Women's Championship match, which I will talk about that in a brief second. Well, in a few minutes, I'll be talking about that. So let's move on to the next match. The next match was for the AEW Continent. Wait, was this the... You know what? Let's talk about the other match. This was a tag team match. It was a Bronze Man Brawl. Adam Copeland teaming up with Jay White versus Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli representing the Death Riders. So this match was no disqualification. It was a brawl pretty much inside the ring. All 4 of these guys going at each other. And we know that the Death Riders are chaos. They come in there, they try to beat you up, and they leave no evidence behind. That's been a common theme in AEW with the Death Riders. With Pac, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Mariah Shafir. This match it was a brawl between all four guys. It was a brawl between all four guys, and it seemed like Adam Copeland and Jay White were gonna seemed like they were gonna win this match, but again, it's a no disqualification match, so anybody can interfere, anybody can get involved. Wheeler Yuta got involved, and Mariah Shafir being outside too plays a factor as well. But overall, this match was just what I was expecting. More blood. There was no blood. There was just John Moxley was pretty much scratched up because there was a chair where Adam Copeland got and had spikes on it and dropped Moxley on top of it, and yeah. But overall, I mean, this match was solid. John chokes out Adam Copeland. Jay White tried to interfere, but he got choked out in the process too. So yeah. Overall, this match, I mean, we know that John Moxley is going to face Adam Copeland. Yes, I'm calling him Adam Copeland. I'm not going to call him Cope. I'm sorry, AEW. That's just not going to happen. So they're going to face each other at Revolution for the AEW World title. The title has been MIA. It's been on a briefcase for all we know. We know that Christian Cage has that contract that he can cash in any given day. Hopefully, if Copeland does win, hopefully he doesn't cash it on him. But then again, we don't know. But yeah, moving on to the next match. This was for the AEW Continental Championship. The champion, Kazuchika Okada, versus Buddy Matthews. So, the outcome of this match, I was really upset about it because I was hoping that Tony Khan would do the right thing. But there was a video that was circulating on Instagram, on just social media, where Buddy Matthews, he goes on top of the ring, by the turnbuckle. So he goes down and he twists his ankle. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, damn. And the fact that he still continued having the match with Okada, put up a great match with Okada. There was a point where I thought he was going to win. Him being an Australian native, I was hoping that he would finally win his first singles AEW belt. That wasn't the case. Okada won. I didn't like the finish. Obviously, Okada was distracting the ref, and he low blows him. He kicks him, kicks him in his balls, and the ref doesn't see it. Okada capitalizes. But overall, the match was good. There was times where I thought Buddy Matthews was gonna win. There was a point where I thought he was gonna win, and man, it sucks that he didn't win. And I was honestly, I'm just here thinking, if he didn't twist his ankle, was there a possibility that he was gonna win the belt? Because that would have been great. And I was just like, man, I was hoping he would win the belt, and he didn't. But then I saw the video that circulated that he twisted his ankle before the match even started. I'm like, man, why? And yeah. So I'm guessing Buddy Matthews is going to be out of actions for quite some time. It's just frustrated that this was his moment. This was his time to win the belt. Okada, look, I don't mind Okada being Continental Champion. I don't think he needs the belt. I think Okada should be involved in the AEW World title belt. Hopefully that happens soon. Because I think Okada, he's a big star coming out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. A big star in Japan. He's with AEW now. The Continental belt, yes, he won it. Great. But it's time for someone else to win that belt. Buddy Matthews was in Australia, his home country. It would have made perfect sense. But it didn't happen. That unfortunate accident, I think that was probably the reason why it didn't happen, and it's unfortunate. All right, moving on to the main event of the AEW Grand Slam in Australia. The champion, Mariah May, versus Timeless Toni Storm. We know that the rivalry between these two girls has taken to levels that we haven't seen before. Mariah May being the former prodigy of Toni Storm. Toni Storm brings back the Timeless character, which... Thank you for doing that. We know that the last time these two girls faced each other was at All In Wembley Stadium in England. Mariah May went over, her being from England. It was only right that Toni Storm would win the belt back, her being from Australia. The booking for this match was good. The match overall was, it was good. It was Not better than the All-In match, I'm going to say that right now. But overall, Toni Storm, she wins the belt back. She becomes the first ever women's AEW champion for her 4th time. The match was. I'm not going to say the match was great, but it was good enough to be in the main event. Toni Storm wins the belt. Timeless Toni Storm is back as champion. Mariah May, hats off to her. She had a good run with the belt. What's next for Toni Storm? If I want to be a booker, if I'm doing a fantasy as far as booking goes and dream matches, let's do Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. Champion versus champion. Why not? I feel like both girls pretty much faced everyone as far as AEW goes. Why not make that match? I don't see why not. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, 2 of the top best girls in AEW. Make it happen. Make it happen, Tony Khan. Why not? Make it happen. Give the fans what they want. Overall, AEW in Australia, Grand Slam. AEW Grand Slam in Australia, I give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But yeah, I hope AEW Revolution is better. AEW Revolution will be in 2 weeks, so I'm excited for that. All right, moving on to the next event that we have to talk about here at TWT Talks with Tito. NXT Vengeance. Let's kick off with the first match was Fallon Henny, NXT North American Women's Champion versus Stephanie McMahon. Obviously, Fallon Henny had Jasmine Nixon and Jace on her corner. Stephanie McMahon, this match, it was decent. I feel like I'm not shocked that Stephanie McMahon wins her first belt with NXT. And Stephanie McMahon becomes the first ever South American champion. Her representing Chile becomes the champion. We know that Stephanie McMahon, the moment she got signed by NXT, she was going to make a big impact. And she was going to make a lot of noise. We know her from, people know her resume from Japan and Mexico. So it's not strange that she won the NXT North American Women's title. And to be honest, Fallon Henny put up a good match with Stephanie McMahon. Both girls went back and forth. But Stephanie McMahon just won this match. Am I happy that she won? Yeah, because I feel like, with Julia being NXT Women's Champion, it keeps both of those girls away from each other for now. We don't know for how long, though. So, yeah, Stephanie McMahon wins the belt. She will be facing the winner of a triple threat match between Jada Parker, Kalina Jordan, and this other girl. I forget her name. I'm a little bummed out that I don't know her name right now, but yes, the winner of that match will face Stephanie McMahon for the NXT Women's belt. So I'm excited to see how that goes, and I'm excited to see her run with the belt. Moving on to the next match. This was for the NXT Tag Team belts. The champion Exxon and Nathan Fraser versus Josh Briggs and Yushin Abora. This match, it just shows that we talk a lot about the women's division in NXT, which is it's probably one of the best in the division. But let's start talking about the tag team division for men's in NXT, because Nathan Fraser and Axon are not really getting they're not really getting their flowers right now. I know, what I appreciate about both of these guys, they don't stand around and wait for their flowers. They don't take their time to smell the roses. That explains why these guys have been NXT Tag Team Champions for as a long time. Not only that, they're going to TNA and they're testing their skill sets with the Hardy Boys, with Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, the brothers too, the Nemeth brothers. So they're over there. They're working champions. They're going to Ari Brown, and now with the NXT and TNA being a partnership, they're doing a great job. But going back to this match, you look at this match and you're like, oh, okay, well, these guys are bigger than it. It doesn't matter because if you think about it, Nathan Fraser and Axon, they just know how to win. And I feel like Shawn Michaels and everybody in NXT, they know how to book these guys properly. I don't know what's the title reign that they have so far. I just hope they hit 365 days because they honestly deserve to be year champions. And I'm enjoying this because I know it's not going to last forever, them being NXT Tag Team Champions, but I'm just enjoying the ride right now. Day one, they went over. Good match. Worthy opponents with Josh Briggs and Yushin Imbora. I mean, both of those guys put up a good match with Nathan Fraser and Axion. But here's the thing, though. When you face a tag team so experienced, so good like both of those guys, you're not going to be shocked of the outcome. But yeah, and then after that, they got attacked by a random group of 4 guys, which we don't know who they are. They're MIA, but they pretty much attacked them. Kind of like remind me of the Shields when they showed up. But these guys were masked up and everything, and they attacked, Axion, Nathan Fraser, Josh Briggs, and Yushin Imbora. So I mean, who are these guys? But it's not the first. But these guys were not done yet. So let's move on to the next match. The next match was a... You know what? Let's just... I could be wrong. I think it was the strap match that was first, but let's just go to Ethan Eagle Page and Javon Evans. We know the rivalry between both of these guys have escalated big time. Ethan Page pretty much fractured, or some would say fractured, some would say broke Javon Evans' jaw. And this match was going to be Javon Evans' come out party. It was going to be his moment where he was going to show that, this guy is just 20 years of age. 20 years of age. And he's facing, and he's in it, he's living the dream, facing someone like Ethan Eagle Page, who is a veteran in professional wrestling. We know what he brings to the table as far as professional wrestling and as far as, his in-ring work. So this match... It was solid. It was good. I feel like Joanne Evans... There was moments in this match where I thought Joanne Evans was going to just go over. But, Ethan Eagle Page, being the savvy veteran that he is and knowing what he knows, he goes in there and finds a way to win. There was times where Joanne, he had, he had Ethan Eagle's Page head on the steel steps. He was going to stomp it, and then Page just moves in. He moves in. He moves his head out, and then we see that Javon misses, and he pulls Javon's leg on the steel steps, traps his leg, and just, boom, kicks it. You know what I mean? We see that was the turnaround point of the match. From there, Ethan Eagle Page just took over and got the win. Is this rivalry over? Probably not. I feel like both of these guys are going to probably face each other again. And we'll see where it goes from there. All right, let's go to the strap match. The strap match, Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorman. A lot of people were shocked that Trick Williams was not involved in the NXT belt, or let alone just, yeah. But I feel like Eddie Thorman also makes a case that he should have been. It's crazy to believe that Eddie Thorman's, this is his first PLE with NXT. He hasn't been involved in a pay-per-view with NXT, which is shocking to me. But the strap match overall, brutal. Both guys just hitting each other with that strap. And it all came down to Eddie Thorman was actually the most experienced one in this match because he already has won a match. But Trick Williams, the thing is about Trick Williams, he's a fan favorite. Fans love him. And the man can just put up a good match with anyone. And the thing about Trick Williams, he's the type of guy that you put him in any match, win or lose, he's going to exceed your expectations. And that's what I always liked about Trick Williams. Like, you can put him in a strap match, you can put him in a disqualification match, cage match, anything. The guy always delivers, wins or lose. He did lose this match because Eddie Thorman found a way to cheat. You know what I mean? I'm surprised the referee didn't see that. But, yeah. A lot of people were so shocked and so upset that Trick Williams lost. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, Booker T was upset too because, when his songs play, whoop, that trick, But, yeah. The reality is this. I feel like Eddie Thorman needs to be elevated now to... If people don't know who he is now, if people didn't know who he was then, they know who he is now. And I feel like Eddie Thorman... moving forward, should get bigger and bigger matches. We know that he was involved in the NXT Championship match. I feel like the guy's gonna have bigger matches now. Trick Williams, I think the transfer window is still closed, but I think it's gonna reopen after WrestleMania. So I think Trick Williams will probably make the jump to the main roster soon. That's what I think. I think he's probably gonna be with NXT for 2 more months, and then he goes up to the main roster. But we don't know. I mean, it's all things that I assuming in my head that's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen soon or maybe after WrestleMania, because obviously NXT has NXT Stand and Deliver the WrestleMania weekend, so anything can happen. So we don't know. All right, moving on to the other. We got 2 more matches. This was for the NXT Championship match. Champion Obi Femi, the Ruler, versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller. This match was kind of like a handicap match because we know that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are a tag team, but this was a triple threat match. Every man for himself, and we know that there was moments where Theory and Grayson were just attacking Obi Femi, and Obi Femi, man, this guy is a monster. The way that he handled both of these guys like nothing, dropped them and everything. There was moments in this match where we thought that Theory was going to win, and then Grayson pulls the referee out, and then there's tensions between Grayson and Austin. They're both shoving each other, going back and forth. And, yeah. Obi Femi uses that to his advantage because, yes, this was a triple threat match, but it felt like a handicap match. 2 against 1. But Obi Femi did not let that phase him. He gets the win. 1, 2, 3, pins Grayson Waller. And Obi Femi, the Ruler, continues to be champion for NXT. And we talked about the 4 mysterious guys that were masked. Well, those guys came back and attacked Obi Femi. They did attack, they were involved. They attacked the guys that were involved in the tag team match, but they attacked Obi Femi. So I'm curious to know who these guys are once they're unmasked, but we'll see where it goes from there. And as far as for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they're probably going to go back to Raw. I mean, I think this was just a one-time thing. It's crazy to believe that both of these guys never won the NXT belt, let alone they never even won the North American title belt. So during the time of NXT, I know that Austin Theory won the tag team titles, NXT titles with Johnny Gargano back in the day. But it's crazy to believe that none of these guys ever won a singles belt in NXT. We know that Theory, the youngest United States champion, and won tag team belts with Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller has only won the tag team belts. I don't even think Grayson Waller has ever won NXT tag team belts either. So I don't think Grayson Waller ever won anything regarding NXT belts. So yeah. All right, moving on to the main event. This was a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Champion, the champion Julia, versus the former 2-time NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez versus former NXT Champion, Women's Champion Bayley, the role model, and versus Cora Jade. This match was 10 minutes. I thought it was crazy because it wasn't long enough. I think it was probably like close to 20 minutes. back and forth with all four of these girls. We know that all of these girls are representatives of NXT in a way. You know, Roxanne and Cora, part of NXT 2.0. Bailey, the OG of the black and gold NXT, and then obviously Julia is currently the champion. This match, there was a lot of back and forth. There's moments where I thought that Cora was gonna win. There's moments where I thought were Roxanne, Bailey. You know, this is the Fatal 4-Way match is good because you know the anticipation is like who will win, who's gonna win. Overall, the match was solid. It was good. Julia retains the belt. Am I shocked? No. But there's moments in this match like we talked about friendship goes out the window when it comes to a triple threat, when it comes to a Fatal 4-Way. This was exactly the case too with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. The overall, I gotta give props to Bailey because Bailey, you know, I feel like all that week she had a crazy schedule, doing Raw, doing NXT. And I can't even imagine, you know, the traveling from city to city, state to state that she did during, you know, that busy 1 or 2 weeks. I think during like Rumble too. Bailey put up a good match with all these girls. And obviously Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, being a fan of them as a kid growing up. And for a moment I thought Cora was going to win too. I thought Cora was probably going to... Cora has not won the NXT Women's Championship. And I think that's something that hopefully she attains before she ever goes up to the main roster. I don't think Cora's going to go to the main roster anytime soon. But Roxanne Perez, I think she will go to the main roster. I think she's going to get called up soon. It's just a matter of time. Bailey, you know, she's going to go back to Raw. But it was good to see her in NXT. To see her showcase her skill set with the talent of NXT. It was great to see. Julia continues to be champion. I'm excited to see what she does. When she won the belt, Stephanie Bakur came in with the NXT North American title belt. We saw that, you know, it's good to see these girls as champions. We know that they were holding the belts up. And yeah, it's crazy. These girls don't even have a year with NXT, and one of them is already the NXT Women's Champion. The other one's already the NXT Women's Champion. The NXT North American Women's Champion and the NXT Women's Champion. But after that, someone's song hits. Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace makes her presence be known. She goes down that ring, looks at both girls, looks at the belts. Jordynne Grace is officially a part of the NXT roster. Am I shocked? No. Kind of I am shocked because I was hoping she would go to the main roster. But NXT is now officially the home of Jordynne Grace. Wow. What a time to be a pro wrestling fan. Also, now that I mentioned NXT, Jordynne Grace is a part of NXT. Who else is a part? You know who else is a part of NXT? He's formerly known as an AEW talent. And I'm not shocked that he signed with NXT. He's going to do his contract signing this Tuesday. The Absolute Ricky Stark. So he is now a part of NXT. Am I shocked? One of the hottest free agents in pro wrestling? No, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that he's a part of NXT because the man looks the part. The man is the part. And man, I am excited to see Ricky Stark and NXT. I'm excited to see the storylines, the possible matches that he's going to have in NXT. Woo! This man is a superstar in the making. And I'm going to say it right now here at TWT Talks with Tito. AEW screwed up big time, letting this guy go, not pushing this guy when he was supposed to be pushed. And you guys let a good one go. That's all I got to say, AEW. That's all I got to say, Tony Khan, TK. I just hope that NXT does the best they can with Ricky Stark. Absolute. The revolutionized man. My take on that, you know, it's crazy to believe that they just fumble the ball with this guy. They could have made this guy one of the biggest stars in AEW, and it didn't happen. And now NXT has the chance to do so. If you look at the guys that have made the jump from AEW to NXT/WWE, you look at Shawn Spears, who's doing great in NXT again. Ethan Ego Page is doing great. Ricky Starr, Ricky Starr is going to do great. And, Jade Cargill, that she's with the main roster, Not saying that Jade Cargill had a bad time in AEW. She had a great time. But, they could have done more things with her, too. But, yeah. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. Next week... Is it next? Well, March 1st, yeah. So, next week we're going to... I want to say it's next week. Yeah, next week. A WWE Elimination Chamber, March 8th, we have UFC 313, and also March 9th, AEW Revolution. So a lot of events are coming up for March, and yeah, we stay busy here at TWT Talks with Tito, and we're gonna continue to stay busy. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care and stay safe. Bye.